Welcome to Humanity Unboxed with me, Michaell from the Wisdom Seekers, and Michael, one of my favorite humans in the world. Always great to see you. The sun is shining in California, I
Ye-
see. And
Yes,
I'm not going to
yes,
ask you how. See, it's so difficult not to ask how you are, but I'm trying.
I'm alive. Uh, and uh, and the thing is, it's interesting because today's the first day where literally it's sunny in the morning. Usually it become this year was really weird. It was the coldest year on the
Yeah.
beach, not in inland, but on the beach was the coldest year. And yeah, it's the first day that's sunny, but we had full moon yesterday and all that other stuff, So major thing. So what
Yeah.
are we talking about? I don't even know.
We're still on mastery. So in the Wisdom Seekers this month, our theme is mastery, and our guiding light is around unleashing your inner finding mastery within. But as always, I've been thinking about this, and I'm not so sure. I don't know. I kind of go backwards and forwards on this mastery thing, as
Mhm.
to are we ever, do we ever want to be a master? We've spoken about this, I think, on the first,
Mhm.
um, like the first episode of this month, as to what is a master. A master is really someone that is constantly practicing awareness and growth, which
Mhm.
means, in essence, you're never a master because you haven't figured it all
It's
out.
always a becoming. It's always an ideal. The master is an ideal that you want to become, and not something you are. You. I think you enter mastery when you don't. Like for example, you learn to type
Yeah,
when you don't think anymore. That I
yeah.
is here and T is there and whatever. So I think you enter the mastery thing when it becomes a part of you, of your expression, of your expression, of your doing, of your, being an artist. So you
Mm.
don't have to mix and say, okay, how do I do green? How do I do this? You just go yellow, blue, blah, 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 black, and you make the olive or whatever. So it's something that becomes inherent that you understand it, so you don't have
Mm.
to think about doing your shoelaces. You're the
Because,
master of
yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you sent me this reel this week around, especially with the dyslexic mind. Sorry,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to follow me now because this is like it's not very linear. I'm not bringing in linearly now, but the dyslexic mind especially um, can't do or doesn't like to do these details. So we have to kind of aim out first, get the bigger picture, and then we can go in. Um, but now, what you're saying, and what I like about what you're saying, is that a master kind of gets these detail-oriented things, like tying your shoelaces and mixing the color. Mastery lies in that, but awareness comes with it. So not to make everything rote, or what's the right word, um, automatic.
Yeah.
So those certain things become automatic, but for the master to then still be able to zoom out and look at the bigger picture in the process.
I also think that mastery isn't something that you achieve. It's to be in the moment, because I can be the master. Let's say I'm Leonardo da Vinci, and there's a kid coming that is better than me. That is just further, not better, but more aware, more, has more detail. And I would, if I'm a master in moment, I would recognize that. If I'm not a master, I say, no, hey, this is my title. This is my entitlement. This is my expertise. You are a student. There is no student and master. That is, it's just
Yeah.
like there is not none. And but I think it is so weird with when we classify something as mastery, and it was really, where was it actually? I don't even know. It would be interesting where it first came to call anybody a master,
Mm.
because I think the definition of somebody, everybody's mastering about their 101, right?
Mm.
Everybody can be mastery of their 101. It's very hard to become, I want to be master of you, would be hard to do. But I can be, the easiest way is the finding my 101ness. And then
Yeah.
I wouldn't learn a trumpet that isn't feeling right for me, and where I can never be a master. See, Miles Davis found that trumpet, and that was a part of him. And so
Mm.
he could expand as master. And Herbie Hancock did piano. Yeah, I'm just saying, from the, when you look at artists, so you find yours to be more of your 101 that you can be and can express that 101ness. And I think when you are that and you are in the moment, then you enter in a dance of mastery that you can just master every moment. It doesn't really matter what happens, you can deal with it. That a student is smarter than you or wider than you can deal with that. And
Yeah.
there's no, uh,
Ego.
it's not about the ego so much, but it's also about the identity. I am the master. I am this is my identity.
Mm.
Because in systems, we all interact in systems.
Mm.
No, it's not the identity, it's your 101ness, it's your, but mastery still is a definition that we can talk about it. If we wouldn't have the word mastery, you and I couldn't talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet mastery feels like something difficult to achieve. Um, but I wonder if it isn't maybe in the acceptance that growth is natural, that
Exactly.
we become the master.
Hmm. Yeah, it's made up because master, everything takes time. Everything takes a certain, to repeat, to find, to go look closer, to, like we do. We look at every angle and say, oh no, this is not. I see it this way, and I think it's not hard. I think mastery is not hard. Mastery is not hard when you have the passion to do it. What I said with Miles Davis, right? Miles Davis found the trumpet. That was him. That was an extension of him, a good tool for expression of him. He couldn't stop. We can't stop. Our mastery is awareness. We can't stop with it. I'd
Yeah.
say, okay, Michelle, from now on, we're not being aware anymore. Let's stop that. It's impossible, right? So,
No.
because even if you have problems, with anything in your house or children or family, you still want to be aware of what you interacting, what you're experiencing. And
Mm.
that's it's and so therefore I don't think it's an effort. Even if you argue with somebody, it's not an effort for you to become more aware, because you look at it, you're an observer. Usually aware people are observers. They're
Mm.
not judges but observers. And they say, how does this work? Oh, I can put this in this card. And then this, like, says perfect for that, because
Mm.
we cannot have any interest if we don't see the whole. We
Yeah.
cannot have a passion if we don't see, you know.
Yeah.
That's why you say the wisdom seeker society, because we can't have that passion for something
Mm.
to actually achieve mastery. But I never want to achieve mastery. It's a process.
Mm.
I
See,
never want
and
to
that's yeah.
end. I never, yeah,
No, because there is no end. Because the
yeah.
end, it just carries on, and that
Mhm.
is the true essence of mastery. Um, I just had a quick look, and it looks like a master is based on Latin, which comes from large. So it's probably widening, our awareness. I'll go look into this
Mhm.
more. I know I have before, but I lose interest sometimes when it becomes too detail
Too
oriented. So
detailed, yeah.
with yeah,
Because the
the
truth is not in the detail. The truth,
no,
the truth is not in the detail. The truth is in both ways, in either zooming out or zooming in. So but we not zooming in enough. So if you really would zoom into the like in an inch of Earth is a billion uh, organisms,
mm,
in
mm,
the earth, in the soil. If you take an inch of soil, or like two centimeters, 2.5 centimeters square of soil, are a billion uh, organisms in it.
mm.
But we're not going in there. We're just figuring out, oh, there's a billion. Oh, we don't understand the interaction, the dance, and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's easier for us to zoom out, especially the dyslexic ones.
Mm,
We just zoom out, and then we see it, and then there is I think there's also a pull. So when you get see the whole picture, there's a
yeah.
pull, and that makes also, and it's funny. This is just coming. It's like it's in between when you see the whole, and you see the whole, you are really drawn to it, and you go in, and then it gives up that it's the specialized just a trumpet in a symphony orchestra. You
Mm,
feel that thing. Oh my God, what a feeling. And then
yeah.
you move in and says, okay, there's something not working, let me see. Oh, the bass is too loud or what, something. You go in and you go in and you go in, and then you can lose the whole.
Mm,
This is why art is so thing. You go into details. Say, oh, if I do this, but you lose the whole thing because the detail might be good, blurry. That might be good, not great. And
yeah.
and so that there is the perception again, and we come back to perception that is actually driving us. Our perception is that what we as one-on-one see as real, and my perception is, let's say I'm playing soccer and you play soccer, is a different perception of playing soccer.
Mm. Yeah, because I like
It,
kicking the ball, but you want to score it in the goal. Um,
exactly.
yeah. So what where does the mastery lie? And that's, I suppose that's where it comes from within, as to what do we really want to experience in this life. I quite I think, I believe that we have chosen to experience life in this form, and there's something that our soul wants to do.
To
Be
learn
that
about,
to
because we
learn,
think
to
to be
experience.
aware, become aware about, so
Yeah,
we say, okay, I'm going to be a beggar my whole life. I want to become aware of the begging. I'm a
yeah,
king. I want to be what a king is. I want to find that out, the pro and cons, because nothing is only yin or yang. It's always
yeah,
both.
yeah. So it's the masculine and the feminine. So it's how am I achieving that thing that I came to experience? It is where the mastery lies, and that's completely
Exactly.
different for you and for me and for the beggar and for the
Yeah.
king. But the beggar and the king could be mastering those things equally,
Yeah.
because those were their missions or their soul's
Mhm.
yearnings or whatever you want to call it. um,
Mhm.
so it's difficult to box, as with most things, what mastery is,
That's
because
why
it's
we're unboxing. That's why we're unboxing.
unboxing.
Yeah, we don't want to box. We want to unbox. Yeah,
Yeah, so we're unboxing that the mastery is subjective, as to, am I tapping into what I came to experience? So there's a
exactly.
lot of eyes in our life, because we are
We're
kind of
101. It
encouraging.
has to be. In this case, it has to. Are you mastering? It's like almost like a gauge ideal of, are you experience your one of oneness like you intended to? And
Yeah,
if you get aligned with that, then you're in mastery. If you're aligned with it, so 53 years, mine was head through the wall, let's get it done, let's do more, always the generalization of what to do.
mm,
And obviously with dyslexia, that is super hard,
yeah,
And 53, I got, oh, we were 101, everybody.
mm,
Nobody's right. No, when you can actually say nobody's right and nobody's wrong,
mm,
we just have to dance with each other and find the one-on-one is, the self-awareness,
yeah,
the, that's,
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key. And how is that self-awareness uh, manifesting? How I am manifesting the self-awareness, because I can manifest suffering and pain
Mm,
and to learn something. But
mm,
it's never one thing to learn something. You can have 10 different variants of learning something. You can have an accident. You have overabundance that you don't know what to do. You can learn anything. It's like everything can be different, and you get to the same awareness. You know.
yeah. And that is finding the mastery. I suppose finding the mastery is we were playing around with in the time sweeps that we've been doing with Richard and Wendy around words. So we often say we were kind of going, what if we um, change our words like need, like I need something
Yeah.
instead of that we say my intention is, or I intend to. So it becomes a stronger aspect as to grounding it in I have power, is the
Yeah.
main thing, instead of my power is outside me with systems in some form of way.
Yeah.
um, and that's also a difficult thing, I think, for us to master, as to realizing that actually my power lies within me and not within anyone else. So to really connect to that self, to that one of oneness, is a constant practice, um, because you can so easily get swept up in the lack and need and not
Yeah.
enoughness and all of those things.
Especially when you are in lack, when you are in ambiguity, when you experience an ambiguity, it's very hard to say at the beginning. Now it is not anymore for me, but in the beginning it was very hard to say, this is what I created. So everything that worked, I created, but everything that I didn't create, that I didn't, what that was ambiguous, like
Mm,
pain, whatever. Oh, that was somebody else. So,
mm,
and you have to take responsibility of, at least, if you don't have to have an answer, you don't have a solution, but you need to say, hey, I created this. If anybody is to blame, I am.
yeah.
And that gives a lot of things. There was something I want to mention. Words, I think in the words, what you just said was the word that you talk to your subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind, when it says, oh, I need, so I'm in lack, whatever, so
Mm,
I intend to get, that is a better language to the subconscious. Like, not, you can't give, I don't want this, it doesn't know,
yeah.
then you actually attract that, so your
Yeah.
subconscious doesn't understand. So it's basically a better thing. But society, we all have, and language is so limited. It is just the
Mm,
most limited thing that we have. And it's the direction. It's basically, we're working with the six senses,
mm,
and the guideposts, the guideposts. It
yeah.
goes, this is where it goes to Vienna, this is where it goes to England, this is where,
Yeah.
you know and it's language, is these guideposts that we then have to capture with our six senses. Okay, so I'm talking to Michelle about, let's say, whatever we talk, like, what art. I'm talking
Mastery.
to
Yeah.
history, art, whatever. I talk to
Yeah.
Michelle about this. Now, if I talk to a teacher about art, it's a different thing. I have to adjust my six senses to dance with him, and I have to adjust with mine to dance with you, if I want to become more aware and be open my perspective.
Yeah. It's that level of connection, and it's often very difficult for me, especially, to connect through language, because language words are everything, but they
Yeah,
mean nothing really.
yeah,
It is the energy and the frequency and the vibrations and the
yeah.
past experiences and the cultural representations and the all the
It's all
stuff that
mixed up.
goes
It's so
in,
mixed up. It's
and
not.
it's all
It's not.
mixed up.
It's not really. It's
Yeah.
like mishmash. It's a mishmash. God,
Yes.
everybody. believes in God differently. When you can talk to every Christian, and it doesn't matter, you can talk to Buddhists.
Mm,
Everybody give about Buddhism, which I was so surprised. I was thinking, oh, it's just in the Western world. Talk to Buddhists; they're completely different about Buddha. Their whole thing, their whole Buddhism and everything is different, and it's different. And as you see, there's also different uh, uh, religions in the Buddhism, in Christian, and I mean there's always these different things, interpretations of where people find themselves that have the similar uh, uh, uh,
mm,
similar context, that feel that's the truth of God is, you have
yeah,
to slaughter yourself and you have to pain yourself and kneel on wood things to suffer. And then other people say, no, we don't even need that. We can just be free Christians and blah, 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 blah. Everybody could be, is different. And Buddhism the same way, Islam the same thing. Everybody is different. And there's very version of the written word, right? You know that. There's the Quran, there's the Bible, there's all different kinds of teachers. So we pretend we are all on the same thing, but that's just a pretension, because we can't actually accept that we all one-on-one and dance with each other, versus I need to be grouped, I need to be tribalized, I need to be, oh, this is this religious tribe, and
mm.
this is that religious tribe. And there's, I think there's our DNA is that wants us to belong to the tribe,
Mm.
is driving us a lot, you know,
I
to
think, yeah, I think society is also, um, it's much easier to convince people that they disagree with each other than to show them all the places that they do agree. So if
yeah,
we are all split up and it's us and them and you and
yeah,
me, and we are, you know, I can't accept you because you believe in this one little thing, but we believe all the other stuff we agree on. But there's this one
yeah,
little thing about whatever it is, wearing pink to church or whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
Um, Now we are going to focus on that. It's that negative bias, So I think our mission or our challenge is to maybe look at all the places where we do agree with each other. Where's that common ground between us, so that we can start sharing ideas instead of um, creating divisions and this is where wars and all these disputes and all this anger and all this stuff is coming from, is that fact that we can't see the common ground between us, and therefore we can't um, go into dialogue, and we can't understand or see or share the meaning of what we really see the world as, or believe, or yeah.
And the magic of, and obviously over generations we have been conditioned to that. I mean, since the Vikings, we have to be conditioned that the tribe is the master, the system is the master, and the we are just the employees of this of the system, right? Basically, except the king, right? And the king is actually also an employee of the system. So we made system relevance because our DNA says whenever you are in problems, go to the tribe. The tribe helps you out. When the saber-toothed tiger is in front of your cave, you run to the tribe for help.
Mm,
Yes, to survive. Survival is the thing. We have to survive
mm,
first. But I think we are all there we are unaware that the DNA drives us to procreate. When we're 15 years old, we want to have sex, and then we're at 28, it's over. It's not. We still want it, but it's not. We have to. We don't care about contraceptive or anything. It is about the doing, and that's
mm,
DNA driven. And so we need to be aware. I think more, if we can get more aware about the DNA driven thing, and the like fight flight, we talked about it, the fight flight, right? That
yeah.
drives us, that makes us not, and I know that because you know what I went through recently.
Mm,
Your rational thinking goes out the door.
yeah,
It
because
doesn't
you're in
matter
shock.
how, Yeah. And if I would have not been aware about this, I would have been lost. I would have
Yeah.
been lost in the pain, lost in the thing.
Mm.
And I said, the awareness is so helpful. Just awareness that when you're pushed in fight flight, you lose your rational thinking. You cannot
Mm.
make decisions. You have to get back to yourself, to your one-on-oneness to make this the right decision. Or
Mm.
say, I need time to recover to make a decision. And
Yeah.
that's not that's that's I think that conundrum that we're in. That's why we can't get out, you know?
Yeah. I want to my perception of the tribe, or maybe the tribe that I want to
Yeah.
create, or I want to co-create, is one of individualists, one of where it is still, and I use this term reluctantly, but safe space, for people to be uniquely them within a container of unconditional love. Love has been used in such a weird and wonderful way through lifetimes, but that the tribe is a place where people can um, experiment, to grow, to master themselves, and be in a container, not a container that is a box, an unboxing container.
Unboxed tribe.
Yeah. Because I think there's so much in the tribal effect, or imagery, maybe for me, as to a place for expression, a place for really being. I think my recent experiences have kind of been around, um, and this is for me, that's the community aspect, is the community creates their sameness. So if you are different, like I, for example, am, I have no desire to fit in with that community, or that place. But then, as you say, you kind of have this conditioned, inbuilt radar that goes, oh, I've done something wrong, therefore I don't fit in, which I don't think is real, or is good.
Well, that's wrong. It's
it's
wrong
not
because you're
it's not
always
good for us. So to create that tribe of different aspects, or different outlooks, of different um people, beings, whatever, that
yeah.
see the world differently, and to respect that, as to, okay, you see it that way, I see it this way. Yeah, not
The,
call the whole thing off.
the thing is, obviously, you don't want to be them because you are too aware that you are one-on-one,
Mm,
and the others are adapting because they're not. Because when you have a real strong system where everybody does the same thing, like Nazi Party or whatever, yeah, I'm just
yeah,
like you have where everybody knows exactly what to do and what not to do, or religion, what to do and
yeah,
what not to do. You know that then you feeling that these people are all adapting to the quote unquote rules of the tribe, and that actually is putting you out. That is saying,
yeah,
okay, Michelle is not right. And this is very uncomfortable because it's physically, which we cannot be physical. We can physical try, but we cannot be segregated. You know that you are part the same. You're on this connected with the murderer and with the king and with everybody. You are
yeah.
connected, interconnected with everybody. You don't have to hug him. You don't have to love them. You can
Mm,
sit on the other side of the boat, but we are on the same boat. So
yeah,
you can sit on the other side of the boat.
yeah,
Um, uh, the the tribe that see the wonder of a tribe, the wonderful thing of a tribe is allowing everybody to be them, and
mm,
also exchange experiences. I think that's
mm,
such a key thing. So a
yeah,
cultural experience, uh, uh, the elders talk to the younger,
mm,
the old people playing with the young people.
yeah,
This exchange of experience. It's not like, oh, he has so much knowledge, he can teach us. No, 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 no.
no, no.
It's
There's connection. There's a
the
fire.
connection.
There's music. There's dancing. There's drums. There's rhythm. You
Exactly.
know, that's
Yeah.
for me tribe.
Yeah.
There's movement and
And in art
connection to
communities, you
nature.
have that. In art communities, you have to. Only
Yeah.
in art. That's why I could survive only because I was in art creation.
Mm,
And in the thing, they don't care if you're a woman or a man. We need
mm.
a guy that plays this, and you are a woman. It doesn't matter. And you play that role. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We need this, and then you're better thing than you can better do the background. You paint the background. It doesn't really matter if it's a guy, it's a kid, it's an old guy.
Pink or
You
blue or
play
green
whatever.
or whatever. Yeah.
That's why art is such an essential, showing us a blueprint of what humans are capable,
Mm.
our ability, and it's always the blueprint of how people should work. Because there's no in jazz. Oh, we can't have black people playing jazz. No, no, you know
Well,
what?
yeah.
No, it's like
Yeah.
no, it doesn't
Mm.
really matter. You play the trumpet so good, you are part of it. It doesn't matter if you studied in Juilliard or anywhere forever. You can contribute. This is how I was trained. I had no idea. I couldn't even learn guitar for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, Michael, what do you have to say? Oh, wow, you can do that. Boom. And I was in. There was not an exam. There wasn't a test. There wasn't a curriculum, anything. I just contributed. And
Yeah.
I was learning while I was doing it. So when we went through things, hey, Michael, look at this. Look how I would look at this. And then
Mm.
the person shows you something, and then you still changes to yours, but then everybody's happy because there's a feedback of resonance in the art creation group,
Yeah.
because it's about the
And
product.
that's what I feel we can be
Absolutely.
in all groups, you know,
Exactly.
whatever we call it. But we need to let go of judgment. So we
The
need to be
system.
able to go. There is no right or wrong. There
No.
is just you and me. And that I think is tricky often.
Yeah.
Michael, it's over time, and it's always a pleasure.
And what's interesting about mastery, because I wasn't aware of it, didn't even know what we're talking about. But it's interesting to dive into there, how
Yeah,
much it always comes out. Because
yeah.
you talk about half an hour mastery, I don't know what it is. You know.
There we
So
go.
great. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
True masters. See, true
Yeah.
masters don't always have to be prepared.
Exactly.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.